sometimes you just have to press record and just go with the flow. I feel now is the right time to record this video, and I hope this video will help each and everyone that is watching this right now, especially men. I know women struggle with this too, but I believe we men, it's more evident that we struggle with it. So I hope this will help my brothers out there, and through my testimony, through what I've been through and how I've dealt with it, I hope this will help the one watching this video. So if you want to take notes, take notes. I'm just going to share my journey, share my 10-year journey to sexual purity. And I want to first of all thank God, because he's the one that's giving me the strength to even record this video. I believe that nowadays lust is a huge topic, a topic that we all should be talking about. We should converse about in groups with men, right? But I believe that there's a stigma behind this whole topic that does not allow us to come together without being filled with shame or guilt and talk freely about it. And I think it's a problem, because as I will share my journey, the number one thing that is most important is accountability. I hope this will change itself and we will all come together and converse more about this topic and share more about this topic and be more open. How did my 10-year journey to sexual purity look like? I believe my journey started when I was around 12. Now I'm 22, so 10 years. It started around when I was 12. As you know, when you're 12 years old, 12, 13, 14, that's like the prime time to be exposed to these kinds of things, especially in this time of age where the internet and phones are just so heavily in use, and even 10-year-olds have a phone. I mean, back then when I was 12, I didn't have a phone, but how I got exposed was a friend came to my house, right? And we're just playing around like always, but he had an iPad. And I was like, bro, this kid has an iPad, bro. So we were just playing on the iPad the whole time. But then he was like, I found something new. And I was like, what do you mean you found something new? So he showed me what he found, and what he found was porn, right? And he showed me a video. I don't remember the video, but I know it was something I was so shocked about. I was like, what did you just show? But me as a 12-year-old, I was like, what was this? I had questions. I didn't really know what it was, and thankfully I didn't have a phone to search it up. So go to school. But weeks passed by and this thing kind of went more popular, right? More kids were talking about it, porn specifically. We're talking about, you can just Google videos and find videos of people having sex initially, right? So I was like, no way, Jose, that was what he showed me. That was what my friend showed me. And then so eventually I think my 13th birthday came up. I got like a trash phone. I had a phone eventually then with 13, but it was like a Fecom. Don't know if y'all remember Fecoms, but everyone who remembers Fecoms, shout out. It's with Phicom, Fecom, or something like that. So what does a 13-year-old boy do? Everyone's talking about that in school. You search it up. So I searched it up and I found some videos and I got hooked by them, but I just watched these videos. And then eventually we had biology class and the teacher showed us like the anatomy of a man and a woman and what coming together does. And suddenly more and more the topic of masturbation came up in school, and boys doing it and talking about it, being cool about it, right? And tying it together with watching porn. So watching porn and then masturbating. I was like, let me give it a try. I watched porn and then I masturbate. And I know the first feeling, it felt crazy. It felt like I found a gold mine. Feel me? But after I did that, I felt like so much shame, so much guilt. And I knew something was wrong because I grew up Christian, right? I wasn't that much of a Christian back then, like practicing it how I'm practicing it right now, but understood that something is wrong with me doing that. But you know, you feel that shame and guilt, and then the next day is like gone, kind of, and you feel the rush and you do it again. So in that time, I heavily used it. I think I used it like multiple days in a week, sometimes even multiple times a day. And so my teenage years went by, right? I was 14, did it 15, 16. I remember 16, I actually had 15. It was with 15, I actually had a girlfriend, if you want to call it that. It lasted for like a few months, but that relationship was also rooted in just pleasure, right? And I'm not proud of it, honestly, but I'm glad and I'm thankful that it didn't lead to losing my virginity. I believe it was so heavily influenced by porn and masturbation that led this relationship to be how it was. And so these years went by. I was 16. I was addicted, but I wasn't addicted to the point where I was watching it multiple times a day for a consistent base, right? It was sometimes I skipped one day, sometimes I skipped 2 days, 3 days. I always did it once a week, probably. That's just how these years went by. And I mean, in high school and all that time that I had in my teenage years, I wasn't that confident because of that thing too, right? I was not feeling too confident because I felt more shame, more guilt, and I couldn't really look women in the eyes. So that followed having this addiction. I didn't feel confident about myself. And so the years went by and I just continued in that behavior, and I wanted to stop because I knew it is hindering my confidence. It is hindering how I interact with people. It is hindering which relationships I can build, but I couldn't. It was just such a grip on my life. And back then I didn't understood what held me to keep on going in this cycle and not being able to stop. But now I know, and I will come to that in a minute. Fast forward to 18, 19-ish. That's when I decided to, I would say, give my life to Christ. Even though I was already a Christian, I was baptized when I was young, but I didn't fully comprehend what was happening. But now I really wanted to be baptized, and I wanted to grow my relationship with God and get to know Him a little bit more. I was under the impression if I get baptized, all this addiction will just fade. I will not have to deal with it no more. I will be free. And that didn't happen. That didn't happen. I had a time where I went for a year of not doing it, right? I went for a year. I will come to that too. But then I fell back because I was too cocky. What do I mean by that? I was too cocky after a year not doing it. Well, when I got more intimate with Jesus, more intimate with God, got to know Him more, and that's where I got to know more about myself. I also watched these videos on YouTube, how to stop and overcome lust. I put some things into practice. And well, some things worked, some things did not work, but I managed to go for a year of not doing it. And this was a huge success. I mean, going from trying to stop, and I think the highest I could go in the past was like a month. But now I had a full year where I didn't do nothing. I didn't masturbate, I didn't watch porn. But what my problem was, or what enabled me to fall again and continue to have victory, was my ego. I was 20 now and I was feeling myself, right? I was like, 300 days, no, what they call it, semen retention. 300 days semen retention, bro, I'm on top of the hill, feel me? And there were a lot of new age people too, and like all these spiritual people that said, if you're on semen retention, you're drawing people to you. And I was like, shoot, I'm the guy now, because, you know what I mean, 300 days semen retention. And so my ego came out in a way where I was too vulnerable in giving my eyes too much space at looking at women, where I allowed my gaze to wander too much, my eyes to wander too much. As we know, the eyes are the gateway to the soul, to the mind, to everything. And so me looking at these parts where I should not look at, I stored up data for my mind and for the devil to use. Eventually it came to that point where enough data was stored up through my eyes because I was just moving too carelessly, and I fell. And then I fell again, and then I fell again, and then I continued the cycle. I was 21, continued the cycle. Tried to stop, fell back in again. Now fast forward, being 22, almost turning 23, I've realized some things that are very important. And if y'all want me to do a complete video, there's a lot to talk about here, but I think I'll just summarize it real quick. I won't cover all the points, but I would just mention a few key points that are very important and helped me in this journey. And what I've realized in my journey with lust are three main things. I would categorize them into three things. First one is that I had this false perspective or impression of defeating lust. What do I mean by that? Well, I thought back then I could defeat lust and it's gone. And I know a lot of people also do these videos and they say you can defeat lust and it's gone. It is true in one sense, and then in the other sense, it's also, there's a little bit of falsehood coming with it. And I was under that impression, and that's why I believe I fell sometimes where I could have not failed or fell, because I thought that I defeated lust and I don't have to battle no more. But what I've learned now, and I could be wrong, maybe I will do an update video sometime and I'm wrong and I will correct myself, but right now I'm under the belief that we are battling lust every single day. It's not like a once and done. I did this, that, and now I'm done with it. I defeated lust. It's not coming back no more. Shoot, it's coming back. It's coming back stronger and harder than ever. And the more you grow, the stronger the battles get. I now know that I have to be vigilant every single day. So I need to be careful. I need to watch. And we're coming to the second point, guarding my eyes. That's something I didn't do in the past because I didn't really realize the impact and the importance of my eyes. But now I know. I know that the eyes are the gateway to whatever happens after that. And masturbation, if you masturbate, that's just a cause of the root of you letting your eyes wander too much. If you're in a car, a beautiful young lady comes crossing by and she's jogging and she has almost nothing on. Nowadays, I'm not going into that, but she has almost no clothes on. It's important for us men, also for women. I'm not saying women are not struggling with this, but I'm just talking to men right now. It's important for us men to guard our eyes. We can make a decision. Problem is how long you keep on it, how long you gaze. No matter how long I go not doing it, no matter how strong I think I am or what stage I'm in, always having that mindset of every single day is like day one. Every single day is a battle. Every single day is either I win or I lose against lust. And every single time I choose not to look, I am winning. I'm giving into the spirit, not into the flesh. And then the third point is accountability. Accountability is a huge point. Accountability. As I said in the beginning, there's such a stigma around us talking about lust. Everyone shies away from talking about lust. Everyone shies away from talking about sex or everything related to that because it feels unholy to talk about it. It feels so weird to talk about it, but we need to talk about it. Because if we don't talk about it, we're just letting, especially for us Christians, we're letting the world captivate our thoughts, captivate our mind into believing what the world wants us to believe about these things. And that's not the way to go. We need this word and we need the fellowship of us brothers coming together, coming into a group and talking about these things. Having accountability. Hey, how's your journey? How have you been dealing with lust this week? Last week I fell, yada, yada, yada. Then we come together and we share and we build up because we know the word says iron sharpens iron. So us coming together is building us up. What helped me is to open up. Even though I didn't want to open up, I think the first time I opened up was when I was 18 because I was just so sick and tired of it. And I knew if I'm keeping this thing in secret, in silence, in the darkness, which I was for the past 5 years of doing that, it would just keep on and keep on repeating itself. And I can say, I will stop, God, and if I do this again, I'm not your child, but I will do it again. That's just how it is. That's just how our nature is. And through accountability, even though it's a process, it's a very important start. Seeking accountability from people that you trust, people that can give you advice, people that can encourage you, strengthen you, especially in the faith. These three things are very important. Again, there are more things, obviously, more points going into this. Lust is a huge topic, but I thank the Lord for speaking through me and giving me the courage to record this video because I know it will help at least 1 or 2 people. I'm happy if it helps 1 or 2 people. And if it helps you and if you're encouraged by this, then just write anything in the comments. How are you dealing with it right now? What are you doing actively to avoid giving into lust? Because we need to build ourselves up. We need to build each other up by our testimonies, by sharing our struggles. And that is how we can connect. That is how we can help each other, just like the Bible also says we should do. Again, I hope this video helped you. May the Lord be with us in this battle. God bless y'all. Let's win this battle every single day. Stay blessed.